All right. Frieren episode 15 smells like trouble. During this episode, Sign gets to show off some of his talents against curses. Then Stark is needed to help bring in some much needed funds for our adventurers. And basically, this episode starts with Sign asking the crew how long they've been traveling together. Fern answers 4 years, and Stark says 1. But does it actually feel like Fern's been with Frieren for 4 years or longer, in y'all opinion?
I genuinely thought that Frieren had wasted at least 10 years of Fern's life. I genuinely thought that. I thought Fern was like super, super young, like a toddler or just older than a toddler when she met Frieren. So 4 years surprised me a lot.
Yeah, it definitely feels like longer. And I think if we pay more attention to, because they always put the timestamps or whatever in the top right. I never pay attention to it though, but I feel like they do that to help us figure out the time jumps, but I just don't keep up with it.
Yeah, I don't care when Himmel died.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, like, I'm not sure if this is like 4 years of knowing Frieren or if it's like 4 years of adventuring with her.
That's what I was about to say, is because she spent 3 years deciphering that grimoire that High Tier had. So they've known each other for 7, but they've only been adventuring for 4.
Yeah, well, he asked them how long they've been traveling together. So
yeah, so that makes sense. Well, I thought it felt like a little longer.
It doesn't feel like they've been. It doesn't feel like Stark has been there for a year though. That's crazy. That Stark's been there for a year already. So
well, we had like 6 months at least of like off-screen time when they were in that cabin in the winter.
Oh, true. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think they do a really good job with it. So
they're pushing it. Yeah, they're pushing it along pretty quick.
But after that, the gang stumbles into a new town where everyone is sleeping, and Frieren comes in. She's like, "This is a curse. This is the work of a curse," and it's then revealed to be magic that humanity can't explain the inner workings of, and that's why it's called curses. Typically, like, priests are resistant to this type of magic because they use the magic of the goddess, which is written like in the sculptures, and the humanity doesn't really fully understand it. But for some reason, it works on the curses and stuff. Whereas mages like Frieren can't do anything about curses like that. So this like ties into like the backstory of how priests are different than mages and why Frieren can't do anything with curses like this, and which is like a key piece of this show, I believe. So did all this make sense to y'all when it started happening?
Yeah, I like that they finally explained it, because for a long time I was trying to figure out like what makes a priest different than a mage. Because they both use magic. They put an emphasis on mana, so like I thought they were maybe the same thing, or maybe priests were just healers. But the fact that they all have like their own like magic, I guess like trees, makes a lot more sense now.
Sign has the power of God and anime on his side.
Attaboy, Dan, you got it.
Yeah, what I really like about this type of scene right here is that even though Frieren is like OP, like this kind of shows that she can't do everything by herself. Still, she still needs other people to help her, just like she needs like a frontliner to give her time to do her work on some things, and like she needs a priest to cover her ass in these situations. And so I really like that this is the way the show is kind of nerfing her. It feels like. Does that check out for y'all?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say nerfing. I don't feel like that's the right word, but like when you play like if you play Dungeons and Dragons, I mean, this is basically just like a D&D anime almost, where you have a party and you're trying to like make it through the quest. Like everybody has their specialty and you can't be good at everything. So like I don't want to say it's nerfing her, but it's just forming a well-rounded party, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it's just it's like categorizing her. And like a couple episodes ago, like I was wondering like why she couldn't do what Sign does as far as magic goes. And the fact we know she's not religious, so that makes perfect sense why she doesn't know any of these spells, because she's not reading the Bible or whatever they read over there. The Bible of the goddess, excuse me. Yeah.
And frankly, if Frieren could do all this on her own, like it'd be a really fun anime to watch. Just like her, just rolling through villages and rolling over armies and shit. That'd be badass.
It'd be fun. Yeah, it would be fun to watch.
Yeah,
but not as heartfelt.
Yeah, it would be fun to see that. But the curses, the curse that's going on in this village, all take over. It takes over all the party one by one eventually, and they end up falling asleep. And Sign ends up having to fight the monster alone. And it kind of looks like something out of Hell's Paradise. Honestly, that's what I thought as soon as I seen it.
Yo, it did look like it was a giant flower monster. It was a little less grotesque than what we've seen in Hell's Paradise, but
for sure,
it was like a Hell's Paradise light, like for toddlers. there was no like orgies of like flower monsters going on.
E for everybody rated Hell's Paradise. Yes.
Yeah. And then so Frieren before she went to sleep, she told him, wake her up when he goes to fight. And so, and he, we all know they only had 5 seconds to wake her up, 5 seconds for her to be awake after she gets woken up. So he decides that it's time to wake her up, because he can't possibly defeat this monster by himself. And it seemed like this part of the episode was to kind of prove us that Sign had a purpose in the group. Did the anime do a good job at proving this to us? And if so, how do you think?
I don't want to say it was to prove he had a purpose, because, again, like kind of like everybody in the party has their strengths. And I think Sign does have good like attack capabilities with his magic, but this monster could, or this flower Hell's Paradise looking monster thingy could like repel magic. So you had to be very, very powerful. And I really liked how he kind of like went with the flashback here, where he was talking about what, when he was a kid, he was kind of like studying under Heiter almost. And, he told her about Frieren and was like, I just trusted her, I could trust her. Like, and after kind of going back to that, Sign realized that like, okay, I need to trust her. If Heiter could, why can't I? And woke her up, and Frieren just went fucking ham, dude.
Yes. 2 seconds, maybe, before she killed it. But to get back to your question, Tyler, like I definitely think this anime has been doing a good job of like immediately telling us what this character's purpose is in the group. We got that with Fern. We understand her dream and what she wants to do. And then like the first or second episode with Stark, we saw him slay that dragon and how powerful he was. And then you get the same thing here with Sign. I think they're doing a good job of like just outlining right off the bat what these people are good at. That way we can kind of move quickly through the story. Like they've gotten a lot done in, what is this, 11 episodes?
Yeah,
15 episodes. Yeah, they've gotten a lot done.
They're like 2/3 of the way there. So like, or at least they're over halfway there. They're almost in like the top of like the middle part of the country. So like they're kind of cruising,
Yeah, it's been a year for, like you said, Stark, and then 4 years for Fern, and it's 15 episodes. They're doing a great job. Look at One Piece.
300 episodes for 2 weeks.
Exactly. Oh man.
I think also to go off of that, this really showed that he can trust Frieren. Like it showed his complete trust in Frieren, and this, he's not been with him very long, so that means a lot. I feel like for us to see that he does completely trust Frieren and enough to make a very dangerous move like that, as well as being able to handle himself, because we know that he probably would have been able to take care of it himself if it wasn't for the fact of reflecting the magic. So
yeah, he was trying not to get anybody hurt, and he's like, You know what? I'm gonna trust the 1,000-year-old elf on this one. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
It was a cool moment.
Yeah, he's a badass too, so wouldn't expect anything less. And he's
True.
pretty smart in the battlefield. Honestly, he's quick on
Yeah.
his feet. So
Because he deduced that it reflects magic and where and what the monster was very, very quickly. So very impressive by him.
but then the gang, after they defeated the monster, everybody woke up, all that good stuff. The gang traveled to Vorag, and Fern lets Frieren know that they're nearly out of funds. I think Bass was talking about money at some point in time, was you not? During our watches?
Yeah, it was a few weeks ago at this point. Yeah. I think it may have been like 5 or 6 episodes, but I just didn't feel like money had tied too much into how they were getting around because they need to buy things and food. So I'm glad they finally brought it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember you saying something about it, so it was interesting to actually see them bring it up, and this is actually an issue now. All of a sudden, because they have 0 funds now. I think they had 20 whatever.
They had 4 bronze coins.
Yeah, so
yeah, they were down to their last meals there.
Okay. If everyone's like, "What's that?"
So I just got a spitball here. Do you guys think there's a bank in this world?
Some sort of, yeah, sort of.
You would
some sort
think
of bank.
so.
So Frieren is like over 1,000 years old, and I'm assuming they probably have interest at the bank, so she should be rolling in money.
Retirement plan go crazy.
She should be loaded.
I'm sure they don't give the elves great rates though, because they live so long. It's
like that episode of Futurama where Fry has 93 cents in his bank account in the year 1999, and he's like a billionaire in the future.
Oh yeah, that is right. That is right. But wasn't it also inflation actually made it where he was still like kind of broke?
Details.
Yeah.
Well, Frieren is also the type of person it doesn't seem like she would keep money in the bank though.
That's
because
true.
She blows it, you know.
And she also doesn't work for money. She works for bucks.
Yes.
So yeah, I eventually, the money has to run out at some point, right? And we're here now. The money has run out. So.
Get your money up, not your funny up, Frieren. Come on.
I do want to, we kind of skipped over it, but I do want to touch base on why Sign might be my favorite character in this show now. And it's because he just loves the older women.
Yeah.
Like they left this town and he was just gushing over this middle-aged babe. And I felt for him.
Hey, I mean, I kind of agree with him. I think he said something like, the only thing this party is missing is an older chick or something like that, right?
Yeah, my man's looking for his silver fox, bro. Like, I don't blame him.
Negative. She better have some money too, based on what they need right now.
Sugar mama. Let's go.
But yeah, to getting back to what's the funds and stuff. The reason why that's kind of important is that they actually get an offer for money. They meet a lord of a village, I guess. And he wants Stark to take his son's place, as a stand-in, to be like his fake son, to keep the morale high in the city. That way they can rebuild the city from a battle, I believe, or something to happen.
Yeah, it was like a large scale war that they're fighting.
Yeah. And so, at this time of the story, did you actually think Stark could actually be a reliable stand-in for a prince, given the way his personality is?
I honestly thought like the whole joke was going to be he was going to fuck this up and they were still going to need money. I really thought that. Bro is just too goofy.
Dude, I just love how dejected he looked during all this training. Like, I have never seen such a sad looking anime character walk. Like, he couldn't even like hold himself up straight. His arms were just dangling in front of him and he's just like swinging around while he walks. Looks like a freaking zombie.
It was so fun.
Yeah, no, he looks like an engineer during finals week in college. It was depressing looking.
I've been there. It is not fun.
Yeah, I did that twice. I was like, never again. I'm going to finance.
Yeah, and it's also revealed that Lord Odin's family was originally from the same region as Stark. And did we like how they tied in the reason that they look so similar to each other, Stark and his son?
Yeah, definitely. It would have been just really like a dumb convenient like loophole. Not loophole, but just like I don't know. I'm trying to think of the right word. Like it would have just kind of been like
Coincidence. It would have been a stupid coincidence. Yeah.
too convenient if there wasn't something to tie it back.
Yeah. They're not being lazy with the story writing. I appreciate that. We see you out there.
They doing work over here.
Mm-hmm.
And then to get into it a little bit more, they started training. And Stark kind of addressed Lord Orton by his name instead of father. Stark thought this was kind of cold considering that his son, Work, had died just like, I think 2 months ago. So that goes into like, makes me think like, what did we think of Lord Orton as a father and or a leader?
I thought he was kind of like a dirtbag at first, but they go into it, just like kind of fucked up. Like if your son dies in battle, you throw a banging funeral and you let people know that he was a brave warrior. You don't hide that. That's just weird.
True. Yeah, I thought he was a complete like deadbeat type dude until he like explained himself that like I'm just trying to hold this kingdom together right quick so we can keep fighting. And that he was going to kind of address it later once they got down the road. And we also saw with his other son that he was a good father to him, although he didn't think too highly of his son. He was supportive of him. So I thought that was really great. I thought Lord Orton ended up being a pretty good dude.
Yeah. And I feel like that his reasoning would have made more sense if he only had one son. But the fact that he had two sons, like that didn't really make as much sense to me. His reasoning, just the people knows that you have a second son, so like why not just like mourn your son and maybe make him a martyr or something, and like a symbol of you know uh whatever you want to accomplish, I guess, and let your other son
like a never forget type moment.
Yeah. So
okay. Come on, Dad. I wasn't even trying to do all that. But yeah, I think it was the reason because like the eldest son was like that guy. And like we can kind of see with like how he thinks about Moot, and I think everybody else knows like that Moot is really not the guy, right? He's gonna be the Lord one day or whatever. But I think Wirt was like their shining star.
It kind of reminds me of Hunter x Hunter, where you have like Killua, who's like the shining example of an assassin, and then you have his chunky brother who's just some nerd who plays video games. It's like, I don't want to hand the keys to the kingdom to this kid. Fuck.
I think that's exactly what's going on here.
Sometimes people got it.
Yeah, exactly. He just had the juice, man. And Moot needs to grow into himself. That's what I was saying.
Moot needs to leave his anime pillows and video games behind and learn how to take the keys to this kingdom.
He's got a rule, bro. Get off Fortnite, my boy.
You can do both.
But speaking of Moot, Stark asked him what he actually thinks about Moot because we see him training and stuff. And do you think he asked him about Moot? Well, why do you think he asked him about him, and did his answer kind of surprise you?
I definitely think he asked him about Moot because Lord Orton like was saying, okay, this guy kind of sucks at swordplay and he's not really progressing. He was thinking he was going to be an asshole like Stark's dad was to him.
Yeah.
So he was kind of like trying to test him and see what he would say. And I think he was expecting a terrible answer, and he got actually a really good one. It was pretty much, he sucks, but I still try and I still love him and I support him. We're going to work this thing out. So that was a good moment. And that was one of the other moments that made me turn around on Lord Orton.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I thought it was really interesting with him because he kind of said that like not telling the village that Work died was his son's like final wish. So I really want to know what the fuck was going through Work's head. this whole thing.
He must have really not liked his brother.
He was like,
Don't even
"Damn."
tell him I'm dead, Pops. Like, we can't. This guy, you seen him out there? He ain't shit. Like,
I mean, the dude can crank 90s, but can he lead a village?
Well, I
his
mean,
flicks are incredible, sir.
his father seems to think that someday he will be able to lead the village better than him, so or something like that.
You killed me, Dan. Talking about some crank 90s. Dumb as hell.
I love how we went from this kid just sucking at the swordplay to being a nerd who plays Fortnite.
I mean, you never know, bro.
All right, guys, the
Fortnite be
bullshit
doing some
hour
wild
is
shit.
Thursday.
Oh, boo. Okay.
Oh. Well, we're gonna get on to the most important scene of this episode, I feel like, or one of the most important scenes of this episode. You could tell they actually like put a lot of time into it. We actually get to see Fern and Stark at the dance, the soiree. I don't know if I said that right. I'm not French
you
or
did
whatever the hell it is.
Soiree is right. Yeah, you got it.
Good job.
But yeah, so what was y'all's thoughts on like the dance, like this whole like scene?
They put a lot of money in that hoe.
Yeah, it was well animated. I don't know. This episode kind of like the whole episode in general was just kind of like meh to me. So like I was just kind of like, this is like the only good part I've seen so far was the dancing.
Yeah, I mean, Lord Orton was like my favorite part of the whole.
Really,
the whole episode. Like, yeah, I love a good father type in anime, man. That's my guy.
I just wish his name was a little easier to say because I keep wanting to say Lord Odin.
I did.
Like,
I can't tell you how many times I typed that shit into this guy. I'm like, wait. But I have a question for you guys. Have you guys done any like swing dancing or ballroom dancing before?
No, I ain't done any kind of dancing before.
What about you, Dan? I feel like Dan can swing a little bit.
I've done a little ballroom,
I see you.
You know, I had a friend in college who was like a professional dancer in New York City before going to college, so she showed me some moves.
Okay, I was about to say you swinging girls around, but you was getting swung around. I feel.
Oh no, I'll swing a girl around. It's just not very coordinated.
I see.
You know, some fun facts about this this scene. How much they actually wanted to make it realistic. They actually got a dance school to help them with this, using like motion capturing and stuff to get us as close as possible, like the footwork and all that stuff, as the real thing. They also used like recordings of the people that was in the orchestra to make sure the fingers and the movements, the body movements, actually was as close as possible to the real thing too. They wanted to go all out on it, so I thought that was fun. Yeah, I thought that was a really fun fact. So
that is so extra.
That's extra, dude.
Yeah, but I feel like this was a very important scene for me personally. Like it's probably one of my favorite scenes of the whole Frieren. So, but that's just me.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know they went that hard on it. I could tell they spent some money, but I didn't know exactly why or how.
Yeah. Okay. And that's one of the reasons why I really like this show. They not only do they go hard on like the fights and stuff like that, they go hard on like the little moments like this. You know, that it's supposed to mean a little something. They put money and time into that too. So it's really crazy. So
it is nuts. It is.
But then at the end of the episode, we actually learned that Orton is looking to have Stark as a replacement to Word. So basically, fill in for the rest of his life, I guess. Stark declines, obviously, and states that he has to go back to his master someday and apologizing for leaving in anger. So
Stark fucked up, man.
100%, bro. You could have went back with an envoy. What are you doing?
You got handed the keys to the kingdom, brother.
Literally.
This is yours. You see, I'm like giving you like fucking 2 years worth of food, worth of money for like a night, and like this could be yours every day, brother. And you're just like, nah, I gotta go be a brave warrior. Fuck that shit, dude. Go live the easy life.
Yeah, he fucked up for real.
He's in the hero party though. Like he can be a hero. He can have his statues everywhere, bro.
Dude, Hero
Or
Party,
he could be the freaking prince and one day lord.
dude,
of,
Hero Party V2 not nearly as cool as Hero Party V1. Like,
Not even close. Not even close.
But it's cooler than the lord of some no-name bullshit village.
it has a name. It's boring, dude. I mean, what do we the Lord of
What is
Boring?
that? That's not the whole world.
Well,
you could be heroes.
It's enough for him. I guarantee you, it's enough for Star.
Yeah.
Obviously not.
What did
Give me a
Eisen?
break.
What
Give me a
did his
break.
master Eisen do after they became like the Hero Party? Like he went and like lived in some shack in the woods.
He trained his apprentice, Stark.
Bro, you could have an army. I don't need an apprentice.
A whole army, bro.
I could be dressed to the nines every day, going to soirees. Like, I'm in.
Yeah.
Sorry, Frieren. Peace. Good
I would
luck.
have ducked out as soon as he said that.
You know why he left though? Because Fern wasn't staying with him.
She could have came back.
Tell Honey to come back. Yeah, what you talking about?
I would be interested to see if like we see like how we started with like the end of the first Hero Party. I would be interested to see if after the story of the Beyond Journey's end is over, like if we see them like 50 years in the future. Because like if I was Stark, I'd be going back to this village after. At least like I have some distant family here.
Some clout too. Some serious clout.
Yeah, just be like, oh yeah, I'm work. Yeah, I was just on an adventure to save the world. No big deal, ladies. Come here.
Pull up.
Hey yo,
Yeah.
sorry, Fern. I got a whole village of honeys now.
Bye.
Damn. Okay.
And this is why I don't write anime.
Yep.
Well,
It'd be a banger though.
I guess if we're done with Frieren, I guess we could move on to Kenshin, I guess.